Hi friends, I'm Jess, and this is my first YouTube video. I'm going to be doing the January book tag, which is created by JAN-uary. And this is a book tag that you normally do in the beginning of January. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I have my list of questions here, and I have a couple books, but I don't have all of them pulled out, but I'll just hold up a few as we go. So what was the last and the first book you read last year? So the first book that I read last year was Horrid by Katrina Leno. You can see my tabbies. This was for the Full Moon Book Club, and I loved it. I ate this up. It's a YA horror, and it's really good. Kind of like a creepy house story, and there's some weird stuff going on with her family. Highly recommend it. Gave that 5 stars. So that was my first book of last year. My last book of last year that I actually finished was A Prayer for the Crown Shy, which is this one here. And that is by Becky Chambers. This is the second, I think it's a duology, but it's a duology now, but I think there's more that are going to be coming out in this series. It's called it's a monk and robot book. So it's very good. It's about a monk and a robot that kind of team up. The robot has like some kind of like life questions and is researching, how humans think and what they want out of life. I like the first book a lot more than I liked this one. But I think I still gave this a 4, so still really good read. I love Becky Chambers. If you like sci-fi and you like character-driven stories, like not super science-y, more about like the characters and so forth, then you'd probably really like this. Second question was, what is your first read this year? So I finished Flawless by Elsie Silver, which was my first book. I actually had started that back in September when I was visiting one of my friends, one of my besties, in New England. So I started it then on my Kindle and just now finished it. No fault of the book. Actually, it was actually really good. I just kind of was reading it slowly at night, and then when I got really into it this month, I finished it up. And that is a cowboy romance, which is kind of new for me, but ended up really liking it. I think I gave it a 4. Share 3 of your reading goals this year. So I just want to look at my reading journal here, and I can tell you a few of the things that I wrote down. I'm using the same journal that I used last year because I didn't get very far in using it. But I did write down some goals for the year. One of them is I have a 24 and 2024 spread, so that is definitely a goal for me to get to. Other things are to read 110 books. That's my Goodreads goal for the year. Read more of my own TBR. I've just kind of been collecting a whole bunch of books and not reading them as I go. So I have at least 1 book per month from my owned TBR, and post more on Bookstagram, and also to start my YouTube channel. So that's what I'm doing now. So those are some of my goals. Share 3 of your most anticipated titles. So I wrote down some titles here. This is going to sound like super basic because I feel like these books are ones a lot of people are going to talk about, but that's fine. So Mislaid Parts Unknown is the next book in the Wayward Children series by Shauna McGuire, and I really love those books. So the next installment that's coming out, it's number 9, and that comes out actually next week in a couple of days here, so it might come out before I even post this video. Next is The Familiar by Leigh Bardugo. I really got into Leigh Bardugo this past year. This is supposed to be like a vampire-y story, so really hyped up for that. I really loved Ninth House and Hellbent, and I started the Six of Crows duology this year. So really ended up liking that a lot. And then, of course, number 3 is The House of Flame and Shadow. So I read the first 2 Crescent City books last year, and I'm obsessed like everyone else. So really excited for that release to come out. And I think, and that's coming out the end of this month. The Familiar, I don't think comes out until April, I believe. Which goals did you reach or not reach last year? So one of my goals was to read 100 books on my Goodreads, and I did complete that, which was awesome. What else did I write in my journal that maybe I completed or I didn't? Read more of my own TBR. Did I really do that? Not really. Use the library. I did. I used Libby, and I also go to my local library, and I got books out pretty consistently throughout the year, so I'd say I used that. The other one was to read more BIPOC, queer, and diverse reads. I did some of that, but I think I could do better this next upcoming year. So that's how I did on some of my goals, but again, I reached my Goodreads goal, so I was really happy about that. Let's see. Are there new releases this year you've heard of that you have no desire to read? Not really, honestly. I haven't really heard of much that I'm not interested in at this point, so I don't really have an answer for that one. So, what are some reading habits you want to change this year, if any? I definitely want to DNF more. So if I'm not feeling a book, I just want to be able to let myself DNF and read more of my own TBR. So I want to get into really reading through a lot of the books that I own. I purchase a lot of books, but I haven't really read all of them, obviously. So that's a big one. Are there any adaptations that you're excited about? I haven't heard of any new adaptations that are coming out besides Percy Jackson is coming out. But I haven't really read those books, but I think the show sounds good. I still need to watch the Lessons in Chemistry show, and I still want to watch A Man Called Otto because I read A Man Called Uva a few years ago. Favorite bookish memory from this last year. So my favorite memories were talking to people in the Lair, which is Jan Agaton's Patreon. So just kind of getting to know people in there, talking to them all the time. We talk every day. So just really making new bookish friends throughout the year. Some that, I talk to pretty much every day, and, some that even sent me gifts this year, which was really amazing. So really happy about that, really excited to be making friends in the book community. So carryovers from last year that you still plan on finishing. I've at this point finished, I think, everything that I was, still finishing up at the end of the year. The only other things that I want to do is kind of go back to some of my soft DNFs. So I started Dracula last year and I never really finished it. So I definitely want to come back to that at some point. I have a lot of soft DNFs. And the other one that I could think of was All's Well by Mona Awad. So I love Bunny. Bunny is really good. That's like a 5-star read for me. But then I read Rouge and was kind of about it. And I had started All's Well kind of around the same time. And I'm just not sure that I was kind of vibing with it at the moment. So I just kind of soft DNF'd it for now. So we'll come back to it. But anyway, so this has been my January book tag. So hope you'll continue to follow my channel. I'm going to try to improve and learn more about this video editing and so forth, and continue to work on making some videos. What do you want to see, from my channel? What are you interested in? And follow me on Instagram at Out of This World Reader. Thank you.